Well, we continue to watch breaking news now out of Seattle. Unrest in the CHOP as city crews try to remove barriers at that protest zone this morning.
A protester blocked heavy equipment with his body, and our cameras also saw a gun drawn at one point. KOMO's Theron Zahn is live on Seattle's Capitol Hill with where things stand right now. Theron.
Good morning. Our hearts were racing at one point as other TV crews started running from the CHOP, saying someone had a gun. You can see there those crews right there from the city. They had to retreat from their mission to remove barriers. Scary moments this morning at the Capitol Hill Autonomous Protest Zone as a man is seen with a gun drawn and another by his side, responding to protesters yelling that another man has a rifle. You can see in this video a protester running for cover. Well, just as quickly as things escalated, they appeared to calm down. No shots were fired, and we didn't see a police response before we retreated to a safer area. This all started around 7 this morning when SDOT crews brought in heavy equipment to move a barrier on 12th Avenue. A protester put himself in the street to block the loader from moving in. After about 30 minutes, city crews retreated a couple blocks away. At this point, it's kind of a standoff.
I wouldn't call it a standoff. Again, we're in conversations right now, actually, with our organizers, again, so that people understand the goals to remove that barrier.
So you're not going to forcefully remove the barrier?
No.
Fire Chief Harold Scoggins was there as well. Protesters confronted the chief, blaming fire crews for not getting there soon enough to save a 19-year-old man who was shot and killed at the CHOP last weekend.
Our medics had people running up and banging on the rigs with weapons. So you expected them to drive into the scene?
What's been going on in this area is why business owner Greg Power says he's closing his shop forever.
And I think that the city leadership is so weak, they're going to let this fester and get as bad as Skid Row. I think this is going to turn into the new Skid Row.
The fire chief and a representative from the mayor's office took a short tour of the barricades in the protest zone. A group of protesters soon followed them, eventually driving them out.
Is that the puppet master right there?
Seattle police kept a low profile this morning, providing security for the city crews. This is what we saw as a patrol car escorted those retreating crews. Well, the next step is unclear. The mayor's office actually just released a statement a short time ago, just as we were coming on the air, saying that SPD had no plans of trying to get into that East Precinct today. So that's their response to what happened so far this morning. Again, them telling us on camera they want to do everything they can to avoid any kind of conflict or violence. Those SDOT crews, though, still, as you can see, live, standing by, waiting for the next instructions.
All right, thanks, Theron. And later today, we can hear what demands protesters in the CHOP want from the city to peacefully end their demonstration. Leaders in one group in the CHOP say they will be holding a news conference at some point today to detail that list of demands. The city facing growing pressure from businesses and residents to return their neighborhood back to normal.
And overnight, parts of I-5 came to a standstill. This DOT camera video showing dozens of protesters block I-5 near Pine Street just after midnight. They blocked the road for about 8 minutes and 46 seconds before clearing out. And it was a close call for some of those protesters last night. Right now, Washington State troopers are trying to find the driver they say ran through the road closure at Dearborn to northbound I-5, nearly hitting a group of demonstrators. No word yet on the type of car they're looking for, but they ask anyone with information to call State Patrol.
Police over the deadly shooting here last weekend.
The fire department, I love you guys. The ambulance, I love you guys. But they are making your jobs harder, and you need to hold them accountable for that.
And we all have to own this.
And we all have to own it, he told them.
So can we conclude from what you've said that this area will likely not be cleaned out today?
Yeah, I don't have that answer. I mean, you can draw your own conclusion there.
I don't want to draw any conclusions, Chief.
Yeah,
I'm asking for what you know.
We're going to have parks crews coming in, meeting with people, cleaning up some of the park.
Indeed, the homeless navigation team was working to clean out and restore Cal Anderson Park. SDOT crews arrived early this morning to continue dismantling CHOP, but protesters would not let them do the work. One person lay in the street, others sat on barricades. The crews backed off, waiting for a signal that they could return.
There are several things going on.
Then just before 2 o'clock, on word that Mayor Jenny Durkan would be meeting with a select group of protesters, a raucous crowd gathered outside First AME Church trying to jockey for position. Our cameras weren't allowed inside. These pictures show the mayor sitting at a round table discussing the group's demands.
Now, the mayor left without talking to us, but you can see the demands here right on this banner. The principal one, defund the SPD by 50% now. Now, they continue to say, and you see it, we're not leaving until our demands are met. This is what they say will have to happen before they move out of this occupied zone, before it becomes a non-occupied zone again. Reporting live in Seattle, Deborah Horn, KARO 7 News.